we're never a bore. You haven't heard it like this before. Yes, it's time to explore the things we care for. And though your jaw may hit the floor, we're still the weirdos you adore. We're the weirdos next door.
Hello, this is Nobi, he, him.
And this is Nicole, they, she.
And together we are
The Weirdos Next Door.
That was a winner. Nailed it.
Yeah.
Nailed it. Okay.
Yeah, sure.
Hello all you weirdos out there. If we sound different or odd, it's like we're not sitting on opposite sides of the couch, but the couch is actually Light Fury, the car that we are in, and we're hotboxing inside the lower bowels of the hotel complex here.
We quite literally came and got high in a basement.
Yes, a subterranean basement.
Yeah.
And so we are here still at DomCon, and this is the last day, and we are about to chill out for a little bit, do a little recording, then go back up for like one last class. And we need to talk about these classes, don't we?
Yeah, we need to talk about our day yesterday.
Yes. Okay. Let's talk about yesterday.
So we decided, kind of just as on a cursory glance, that none of the early classes in the class segment. I mean, we discussed this yesterday in our go through.
Right.
But we kind of didn't have anything that we wanted to go through and go to until our friend Miss Kat's negotiation and connection discussion, which then also led to lifestyle dynamics. So those were the only two classes we took yesterday. So we got in pretty late, but it was still fine. Traffic wasn't too shabby.
Now, how have you been doing? Because since I am sort of like ambulatory restricted or restrained, you've been having to do all the driving. How are you feeling? I'm concerned about you.
I mean, overall, I'm okay.
Okay.
I will probably feel it tomorrow when like all of the endorphins and happy hormones kind of start dropping. But we've already kind of planned tomorrow as a relatively lazy day. Like my probably first thing I'll do is get the bathtub cleaned back out and take a bath at some point tomorrow.
What would also be good, like tonight, is like we could take some sort of sleeping aid or some sort.
Yes.
Or something to help us also with the pain, maybe. And
yes,
so let's
very
see how this. And I would like to request a warm cup of milk, please, little bear.
A warm cup of milk?
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you very much. So we decided on. So how did they go? So we didn't rush ourselves, we didn't kill ourselves, so we felt really good about that.
No, and because Kat's classes were both in the same room, we were able to just get in once the class prior had emptied out and just kind of camped out at the front until Kat came in and was like, "Hey, we're gonna make a circle." So then we just camped out in our circle and everything was great.
Yeah, so I pretty much was a lump. A lump with wheels, and stuck in one spot for 4 hours.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So the first class that Kat did was the negotiation and connection. So we just it was just a nice little round table discussion. We all just kind of shared where we're at and what we were hoping to get out of coming to that class, which was really good. I feel like there were a lot of people open to a different kind of negotiation. Because we've talked about how the Kink Collective is very intention based, and that's part of why I adore them so much. So
people before kink.
Yes, people before kink is their
motto.
Their motto and the curriculum that they're building as far as a training curriculum, both on the actual sex health, sexual therapist, therapeutic side, but also just on a community basis, really getting to the fact and reminding people that we are people. We are not, perfect. We make mistakes. We are flawed.
But there are the resources to help people work on themselves, be better and improve and learn.
Not treat each other like kink dispensers,
yeah.
and really care for the actual person that you are, possibly exchanging energy and power with.
Yeah. It's all about connection.
Yeah, it's about connection. And then the second class that she taught was lifestyle dynamics. So that one also brought in a bunch of a really good conversation that occurred.
Oh, is that the one where the soft dom? Oh yeah, when Kat mentioned that all these 27-year-old masters out there, you're not a master of anything. And you can see like a couple of
the younger men.
The younger men, one identified as a soft dom, and which
goes feeling sure.
which almost made me like just like bust out laughing, but I held it in. I behaved, because in respect to Miss Cat, I didn't want to kind of be the troublemaker that I normally am. What? Anyway, so I think we could all have a slice of pizza. Anyway, so I do a horrible Spicoli.
Yeah, that was bad.
I've never tried to do Spicoli all my life, and yet here I just attempted one.
What is your deal lately?
I am in an exploration mode, perhaps, and maybe I'm trying to find a new me. I don't know.
But yeah, we it was a good discussion, basically about like how these things change over time. And of course, Nobi and I have had a lot of experience with things in our dynamic and our lives changing quite a bit. So it's always really nice to, hear how other people have found their way through it.
Yeah, I mean, it was, and for us, I think, for me, it was interesting to see people at various levels. And always like a myriad of combinations, right? And dynamics, and the dynamics going on, like, overlapping and things like that was very fascinating to see, and see how people like identify themselves and the body language of who they're sitting with. One was, now, I thought the soft dom said like the other, the blonde lady to the right. I thought, you weren't there yet, but I believe they were introducing yourself. I thought he said, "I'm here because of her." And this, and also this is my love. So like he made it sound like they're both. He was like the hinge. But don't I notice like he was all about this, the new person, it seemed like, or just someone that is super into, and almost like ignored the other. She like sat like an elbow's length away. So it's like, I thought it was a weird. And then like when they got up, just kind of like, I don't think they said anything to each other. I'm very confused. I might have been hallucinating.
Yeah, like I must have missed like a whole thing.
Yeah, I think you did. Oh well. Anyway, and so where were we all? Oh, and it was interesting when we finally came around and came to our story. We gave some people chills.
Yeah.
We give some people the feels.
Yeah.
A little bit.
Yes, because we discussed the fact that we have negotiated our breakup, which is, it's hard. It's really hard.
Yeah.
Especially because like neither of us want this relationship to end or anticipate it ending or seeing it end. So it's, and I think it's like the same argument against like prenups. Why do we need a prenup if like, no, this is forever?
Oh yeah.
But
I got that from my ex.
Yeah.
There I am. How old was I when I got married? I was like, I was a millennial.
20-something.
I was a millennial aged, and
a young 20-ish. 20-something.
Actually, like 26, I think. Oh, it's also at the behest of guess who? You get one guess at who like encouraged me to push for a prenup. One guess in my circle.
Was it your mom?
Yes. Jeez, I was like, so I was like, oh, she convinced me that was like, that made sense. It does make sense. It really does. Mm-hmm. To protect both parties, that when you're in love, this is what you agreed upon, and should heaven forbid something, blah blah blah. Yeah. You're agreeing. So essentially, that's essentially what a prenup is, right?
Yeah. It's negotiating when things are good for when things go bad, because we are vicious to each other when things go bad. So, like, negotiate for the end when you're happy, so that like, if y'all start to not communicate with, like, we have, talking to each other respectfully, and if we're getting to a point where we're screaming at each other all the time and we haven't already discussed some sort of de-escalation or that there's issues in our relationship, we have already gone too far. Like,
yeah.
Like, we were already like really not paying attention to each other and not meeting each other's needs, not even trying to meet each other's needs. If we've gotten to that stage and haven't discussed changes in our relationship.
Yeah. Well, it took us about 6 months to negotiate our contract, which became about 11 pages, which seems to shock people. Mm-hmm. And I feel like it was still kind of short. like oh, we should cover this, we cover that.
Very,
right?
very thorough.
I know, but I mean, have we covered like specific instructions in the event of my incapacitation and that stuff?
No, we didn't put that
in each other's, actually.
Yeah. Well, we didn't put that necessarily in the contract because our plan has been to make that more official, because it's a DS document, but like we could vanilla it down and make it a quote-unquote cohabitation agreement. However, those aren't necessarily legally binding when it comes to inheritance or power of attorney, that kind of stuff.
Of course, if we gave each other power of attorney in the event of my incapacitance, mm-hmm. your power of attorney over all my assets.
So it's one of those where, like, we've discussed, we didn't put it in the contract because that needs to be done on an official basis, not just what we've talked about.
So if we register as domestic partners, does that mean we get those discounts and stuff? Or you get for, like, you're considered essentially like a married couple?
I mean, considering the fact that the best benefit of being married is your tax rate, no, you do not get that same thing for domestic partnership.
We've got to be making money to get taxed, so we can cross that. That's a tax loop that we wouldn't be able to really take advantage of for a while anyway.
I make money and pay taxes.
That's
and
true.
I'm being taxed as a single person, which is significantly higher than a one person working.
Stop trying to propose to me.
Hey, the way I see it, I already kind of asked you. So if this is an actual thing, it's on you now. It's your turn. I did it once. It's your turn. I got rejected.
You did not specifically.
I did. I got rejected.
You did not get down on a knee and go
rejected.
like, PapaBear, and like do the whole,
Yeah, because I saved myself the embarrassment of you saying no by asking, if I was to ask you, would you say yes? And you said no, I would not. So I was like, all right then.
You said it more like, like a business thing, no,
No,
for like tax bins and stuff.
we've that's been an ongoing discussion. I'm talking about when I specifically asked you at the end of 2019 when I was on my trip.
Yeah.
Yep. No, that is the one time I have specifically asked you. Otherwise, it has been an ongoing discussion between you and I, and it just kind of comes up when we're thinking about it.
Yeah. But technically, you didn't ask me, right? You said, would you? So.
No, I'm still counting that as it's
No,
your
I don't
turn.
count that.
No, I'm counting it as it's your turn.
Nope.
Yep.
Nope.
Yep. Nope.
Nope. Nope. Nope.
Nope. You got to ask me now.
Nope. Nope. All right, moving on. What else are we talking about? We're going nowhere.
I think now we have to talk about our class selections for today.
Were there any classes that we haven't talked about? We only did 2 classes yesterday.
We did 2 classes yesterday. Yes.
Okay, that's good. Okay, both were scats, and they were great.
So we've already been to 2 classes this morning, but we're still going to go through the like what our decision making process was. So the first segment of classes, our options were going beyond yes, no, maybe, how to get exactly what you want in sex and kink with Princess Kali. I forget if that's one of the ones, I think that's another one of the ones that we saw at Winter Fire in 2020.
Oh, yes. So we didn't need to see it unless there was something, nothing else to see.
Yeah, unless we really, really had to. Which I like that educator. She's great. I really love how she does things. But again, we've seen her stuff, and it wasn't a new offering from her.
Yeah.
Then there was also a sub-switch panel. The class description for that going beyond yes, no, maybe. So what are you into is the most common yet most useless question in sex and kink negotiations. It is time to move beyond a yes, no, maybe checklist and approach our scenes with all the nuance they deserved. Kali will share the revolutionary negotiation concepts that she's developed during the past 20 years as a lifestyle and professional kinkster. These easy-to-implement communication strategies will fine-tune your negotiations no matter how long you've been playing, whether you're new or a veteran player. Do you want to have more satisfying sexual experiences? Then you want to attend this class. Like, yeah, I'm sure a lot of people benefited from that class, and I'm happy for them. Sub-switch panel, the description for that is hear stories and insights of a diverse panel of submissives and switches, ask questions directed at a specific panelist or the entire panel. Again, sounds like a great discussion. There's just things that we wanted to do instead. So this was actually our first time doing our divide and conquer thing today for DomCon. So this is actually the one I ended up at, which was the Mental Health Roundtable with Shveta, which is Shui. That's our friend from Kink Collective back in New York City, part of the People Before Kink crew. So the description for that is, despite increased awareness in the intersection of kink and mental health, stigma remains. There are myths around the mental health of kinksters as a whole, as well as the debates on the therapeutic nature of BDSM and the relationships formed. Questions around play, safety, and negotiation often come up. How much transparency is needed? How should I disclose and in which settings or situations? When should you disclose to your doctor or therapist? Overcoming the stigma starts with open and safe conversation. Bring your questions, open-mindedness, and curiosity while we explore these issues and more. And then the class that Nobi went to was Male Domination with Joshua. This is a roundtable discussion about the issues, concerns, joys, and experiences regarding what it is to be a male identified in a world that is dominated primarily by women. This is an opportunity to dive into a topic that is not often discussed in a candid and meaningful way.
Well, I did attend that.
Yes, you attended that one.
And do we talk about the ones we've seen, or do you read out the last one or whatever? Oh yeah, talk about the other ones. Yes, we'll do backup. We'll do
we'll do final day.
Yeah, later.
either tonight or tomorrow.
Deal.
So then the next class that we went to was in this section, but again, I'm going to read through each of our options and we can discuss our decision-making process. And the divide and conquer was simply because, like, I don't need to go to a male domination class. I mean, I could, and I'm sure, I'm not sure if I would have gained anything from the discussion today, but that's a conversation for later. Like, yes, there are bits that I'm sure I could get out of a male domination class, being that I typically play with male dominance. But I wanted to go to the mental health roundtable because I got mental health issues.
Yeah.
So that's something that's important to me.
And to me, but also I wanted to
support Joshua.
Support Joshua, and I did want to, and the reason we went. Never mind, I'll talk about it later. I want to talk about it. Okay. Keep going.
All right. So then, our next class options included enhancing your verbal domination skill. The description is: verbal domination is the glue that holds a scene together and can provide ambiance for spectacular play. In this class, topics will include skill development, psychology of communication, nonverbal communication, keys to keep control, and ways to gain confidence and skill. Q&A and some class participation round out the class to inspire you to practice in your own play. I mean, sounds cool, but like the classes that are in the A side of things are small and toasty. So we have kind of
shied away.
Yeah, we've been more interested in if we can find something worth going to on the B side. We would much rather be over there. It's a bit more spacious and has better ventilation.
It's a lot more spacious. Yes. Oh, but the little beep, I don't know, was pretty small. Huh?
Little beep's small, but it was a smaller group. At least for the morning class I went to. It might be a little bit bigger for our closeout class, or a lot more people for our closeout class, just because of who it is. So we'll see how that goes. We're planning to get back up there early enough to get our own spot where we want. So
yep.
Next option was protocols and rituals, establishing rhythm in our dynamics. This workshop will focus on techniques for developing and implementing protocols and rituals in order to better enhance your power exchange dynamics and create more fulfilling scenes. This class will teach ways to incorporate the protocols and rituals that work best for you and your dynamic, as well as methods for successful submissive training. Learn how to unlock either your dominant or submissive side and find new ways to create excitement in your relationships and scenes, as well as how to build stronger bonds with our partners. Whether you're experienced or new, please join Rich for this discussion. I mean, again, sounds cool, especially since, we have discussed, leaning on those things when things get difficult. Yeah. But again, there were things that we wanted to talk about more, and again, if we can find something on that B side, we tend to prefer it. That was another A side class.
Yeah.
Another class was the caring dominant, setting up S-types for success. Every S-type that I've ever spoken to that was serious about being in a power exchange relationship has mostly said the same thing. They want to do a good job and please their D-type. As D-types, it is our job to set them, our S-types, up for success. Join this educator as he goes through some of the things D-types can do and S-types can respectfully request to help their S-type succeed and perform well in their services while lowering anxiety and stress and increasing the potential for happiness in their relationships and their D-type. Again, similar to the protocols and rituals. Sounds really great. I'm sure we could have learned something from it, but I think the other one, I really enjoyed this class. So.
Yeah.
So the one we ended up choosing was Making Music, the art and science of adding music to your scenes, and that was with Phrygian Monk. Scenes, the kinky experience we all love to have. The feeling of being in a world of your own with just your partner or partners and the connection between you all. It's almost like a movie, but no movie would be complete without a soaring soundtrack to accompany it. Join us in this class as we explore how to incorporate and use music within the context of our kink. So music is a big part of how we play.
Well, and also how we bonded.
Huge part of how
we connected when we first met.
Yeah.
You know, we like pretty much like shared playlists.
Yep.
And then just kind of had a texting dialogue of like, you know, talking about each other's, you know, playlists, or, you know, I thought you were like, I felt really good when you gave me props for working in Beatles into the chill rig playlist, and that's a playlist for like specifically designed for tying rope with, and so it's very like smooth and sensual. So like it was very non-Beatle-y, but we're able to find something.
Mm-hmm. And that's kind of been like our musical challenge together is like, what weird shit can we find? Yes.
Well, we'll talk more about that when we'll do our reviews. Okay.
But yeah, that was a really, really great class. Really enjoyed it. The class section we are skipping has conflict resolution for pro and lifestyle BDSM. Conflict is occasionally unavoidable, and we can choose how to respond. Learn how to make sure everyone feels heard, mitigate the impact, and learn from conflict when it does occur. Conflict can even be a positive thing when the result is greater insight and clearer understanding between parties. Join this educator as he draws from the wisdom of others in the class. That is perfect for both professionals and lifestyle players. So, sounds cool. But we wanted to come smoke in the basement.
And do a little recording.
Yeah, and do some recording, just kind of like relax a little bit. Like we're now on day 3, so like the human interaction spoons are running a little bit lower, and you know, we're trying to protect some energy as we can. If it wasn't for the class that we're wanting to hit at the end of the day, we probably would be headed back home. Let's see, the next option was kink relationship dynamics. Finding your ideal partner, discover how you see yourself, how you see others, and how others see you, and what steps to take to get in action in your search for your ideal partner. Like, I've gotten better at that. I'm not gonna say I'm like always gonna do a great job, but I'm doing pretty great so far.
Okay.
I mean, you're stuck with me, so I guess I might be okay.
Yep.
And then the other class option was Caress of Steel, an introduction to knife play. No cutting or blood, intentional anyway. So he does like disclaimer, because you're playing with knives. You're
gonna get cut.
Shit might happen. Like there's no guarantee.
Someone's gonna bleed.
Yeah. Panther discusses and demonstrates various techniques for using knives and similar blades in erotic knife play. No cutting or blood play demonstrated, using visual, sound, and sensation are. So, if we were to go to one in that period, it would probably be that one.
Yeah.
Because,
we do have interest in knife play, yes.
Yeah, I like scary things.
Yes. All right.
And then at the end of the day, we have, let's see, in one area there is the 6th annual Legends of Female Domination, featuring 7 generations of dominatrixes with over 150 years combined experience. Be prepared to hear some truly amazing stories of female empowerment by a group of women who have taken the road less traveled. Professional dominatrix. Each of our panel members are pioneers and trailblazers in their own right, so join historical and join us for legends. The dictionary defines legends as, number 1, a traditional story, sometimes popularly regarded as historical but unauthenticated. Number 2, an extremely famous or notorious person, especially in a particular field. In the pro-domination field, there are a select few that are both legends and can tell some. And this will be a storytelling session that you will never forget. Each mistress will tell the story of her first session, and a dom Dom Talltale. They'll talk about what the business was like when they started, how it's changed, and how it stayed the same, how they met clients, did their advertising, etc. This year's panel has a combined experience of 147 years. The speakers in order of seniority are, and then they list the dominatrixes that are speaking. Again, sounds really cool. Like, yeah, I bet they do have some of the wildest stories.
I'm sure. That would have been fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Then there is, again, it's in one of the smaller rooms.
Yeah.
There's gonna be a lot of people in there.
Yeah.
Like DomCon is very female dominatrix led.
Right.
That is, I'm not gonna lie, that is one of the things I love about DomCon.
Yeah.
Like, it is one of the few kink events. Like, yes, there are very, like, femdom specific events that you can go to, but as far as an entire convention weekend that is a mainstay as far as the kink convention circuit, and it's femdom, like, mostly. I think it's pretty badass. Other class option is guided meditation, a journey to deep submission. A discussion and demonstration on using guided meditation as a tool for training your submissive. Industry vets and civilians alike can benefit from the skills shared in this workshop. Also sounds super cool. Like yeah, kind of goes with, you know, the hypnotic technique and blah 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 blah. Like, yeah, super interesting. However, you're going up against kink and spirituality with Orpheus Black.
Yeah, read that.
So, there are many people who exist at the intersection of spirituality and sexuality, a place where many people are searching for a more profound connection with self and the other. Kink offers a unique opportunity to explore the boundaries of the tangible and intangible elements of pleasure and pain. This class will discuss facilitating a unique experience into the unknown. It's like, again, I already know that I adore how he teaches things and the perspective that Orpheus Black teaches from. So I will probably, anytime we come to an event from here on out, if we see him teaching something, he's going to be one of our people that we kind of always keep up with.
Yep.
And then the final class option is Empyrean, healing through BDSM. Stop stigma, experience Empyrean. Living fun, fearless, and free to be me. STIs and trauma. Reclaiming self-love and healing through BDSM, kink, and communication. A disease does not define us. Sex education empowers us, and authentic communication liberates us. Join me in putting an end to shame and stigma by freeing yourself from the prison of your own mind. Be you, be free, be happy. May is Asian Heritage Month. May 19th is National Asian Pacific Islander HIV Day of Awareness. Whether you are newly diagnosed, have had something for years, or someone you know and love is living with an STI, multiple STIs, and you don't know how to talk about it, then come to this inspirational and educational workshop to learn the latest STI facts, pleasure-based sexuality education, and language tools to speak about STIs. Empyrean is a free realm of judgment. So, again, sounds interesting. I'm really happy that it's a class offering, and I hope the people who go get something from it. I'm sure they will.
It's unfortunate that we have to play Sophie's Choice with. These are some really outstanding classes, and it's kind of a bummer when you have to pick one over the other, two of your favorite topics or what have you.
Yeah.
So it's a little. You kind of wish you spread it out a little more, but we understand.
Yeah, it's also.
You get more going, more classes down.
Yeah, you get more classes in, but it's also just one of those things of that's part of coming to a convention, is you're not going to get to do everything. It's no different than going to a festival with 7 stages.
That's true.
You're only going to see maybe 2 out of the 3 that you really, really wanted to see.
Right.
And even then, you might not even actually be able to see anything.
Right.
Like, you gotta... That's why we do these discussions before we plan the things, that we have a general idea.
Yep.
And we kind of, talk through what we're wanting to get out of that and whether it's important.
Yep.
But, I'm glad that we have the opportunity to come to this.
I'm thinking about just go ahead and letting this series go public. I mean, I don't think we talk about anything specific.
No, we don't talk about anything scandalous.
Right. I doubt my parents are gonna figure out how to listen to a podcast. So.
Your nephew, though. We know your nephew listens.
Well, it's all about negotiation and consent, yeah.
I know. Like it again.
And
he has the open invitation to discuss things with us.
Yes. When he's ready to, if he has any questions, I told him that way back when. It's like when he happened upon the show. I said, like, if you want to ask any questions or need clarification or you're confused about something, feel free to reach out.
I mean,
happy to chat with you about it.
Sex education.
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah.
Regardless of who's listening or what age they are.
Yeah, and my kids know, and I'm not specific, and they're like, we don't need to know, but we know you do that, but we don't need to know the specifics.
Thanks for telling me. We're good.
Okay. so yes, we will always give you advance notice before we come visit. Thank you. All right. Anyway, I think that kind of wraps up sort of like our intros to the show. To the convention and the workshops that we've attended. Or we're going to attend.
We probably still have we'll have our breakdown of today coming out, and then we'll probably talk about just the convention as a whole.
Yes.
So maybe another couple segments after this one.
Sure. All right, terrific. Thank you very much. We are the Weirdos Next Door. You can find out all about our stuff and our merch and what have you, and how to support us at weirdosonline.com. Weirdosonline.com. Thank you. Talk to you later.
Ta-ta.
Bye.
Smash your social mores with the Weirdos Next Door.